Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
Hey coaches, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops. Before we jump in today, I just want to make sure you know what's going on. Coach Bill and I, over the last couple months, have been running an on-demand coaches clinic. We're going to just kind of pull the curtain back, let you kind of hear a little bit of what's inside of those, as far as handouts and videos and all that stuff. If you want to see what's available, go over to basketballcoachesclinic.com and check it out. Let's head off to the podcast.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so let's just dive in again. Okay. I had fun with this title, and the reason I did was I think if you nail your vision, it'll take care of a lot of problems down the road. Right. And we're going to explain what some of those issues. But I think one of the big problems it may help with is those questions we all get from parents. Why are you doing what you do? Why aren't you doing this? Why, those complaints and everything. So
right.
Let's just dive right in. So I think one of the most important things is to really establish your vision. And you're thinking to yourself, I coach once a week. I do this for 3 or 4 months of the year. What are you talking about, coach? Right. But I think there's 3 parts to this, and you see them on your screen here, is really understanding your core values. And we're going to explain what some of those are, right? And who are you as a coach? What guides your life? What brings you meaning and purpose? We had a great question in our Facebook group just yesterday, a coach asking, what could he do for community service work? And now I know what that coach is guided by, right? And he's making, he had a 4th and 5th grade team, right?
I know,
so he just wanted some ideas.
Like give it back. It was awesome.
Give back, yeah. So that's a great example of what guides that coach's life, and he's going to make that part of his vision for his team this year, right? And then, what's the impact you want to make? And then really just kind of, imagining that future impact, describing the inspirational moments, and then crafting this language. And this might sound a little businessy to a certain degree. It kind of is. It's borrowed from, my background in business. We've said this before, Coach Collins is a high school basketball coach. He's going to spend a lot more time on this than maybe you and I, who are youth coaches, but at both levels, it has value.
Right. And it's going to pay off. Like I said in the intro, it's going to pay off in those big things. And again, part of youth coaching is being a guide, a mentor, a life coach. I mean, there's things that go beyond basketball, I think, and that's why this is so important.
Yeah, and again, this should set the stage in this for what's your practice plan going to look like, and it should then be a piece of cake once we get through these next few pieces. Okay, so let's talk about kind of fill in the blank here, and you're going to have these worksheets, and I would encourage you to print them out and go through this while we're talking through it, so you can just write some notes down. But again, these are all in the class, so you can just download and look at. Okay, core values. So core values. I put some examples here. Excellence, discipline, teamwork, sportsmanship, leadership, community, empowerment, positivity, etc. So those are kind of again, what guides your life as a coach. And then let's talk about your envisioned future. What is the impact?
Hey, before we do envision, let's go back to the core values.
I'm going quick here, Coach.
You're going
I'm
fast.
sorry about that. Slow me down.
It's okay. So the core values, like, how did you come up with those? Were those player driven? Were they coach driven? Were they? At the youth level, maybe you want to get it down to 10. I don't. What's your thought on that?
Oh, yeah. So think about this. I'm glad you asked. This is just a brain dump. This is a brain, this is me sitting here thinking, who am I? Like, as a person, as a human being, and who am I? Right. And I just wrote down a bunch of thoughts.
Right.
And then you're going to take these and boil them down to what are the 2 and 3 things under core values that, really truly are me. Like, if I asked you, who's Bill Flitter, or somebody asked you, right, what does he believe in, right? Well, he works hard, he's a great leader, and he's compassionate, right? All right, those are the 3 things that I think about, and I'm gonna take those as my core values. So that's gonna help. That's gonna guide me through my season, right? So if I'm big in community service or community, Coach, you're
sorry. I'm thinking, sorry, I was muted. There was a dog barking in the background. I was thinking that this could almost be a group thing with you and your players. It could also be something maybe at the parent meeting where the child or the player is sitting with a parent, and it's like, maybe the mom wants them to be, more dedicated, or, have a little humility or something. So the parents might be able to help, hey, we're going to do this, and we would like each of you as a group come up with it, and then we come back. Maybe you come take all the parent input and then kind of add to. I don't know. It's just an idea of something that.
I've done it as a group. I haven't done it with parents. I've done it with the players, though, where they, I have them write down their thoughts on this, and I go through it, explain, again, what it is. Then I look for common threads across the whole team.
Right. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you're dealing with a 3rd grader, it's a lot different than dealing with an 8th grader. That's why I was thinking.
Correct.
The parents might be, there might be need a little hand holding if you're going to do this at some of the younger levels. That's my only thought with that. And
I don't think it's an either or. I think you can sit down and do this yourself, and then take it to your players to
I agree.
Just empower them.
Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So next is your envisioned future. What is the impact you want to make on your season? I would try to avoid, we want to win, make it about wins, right? We want to win league, or we want to win our division, or diocese, right, if you're doing CYO. I think you should avoid those types of envisioned futures. Again, not that it's wrong, but as Coach said, we want to make positive impacts on the kid. So with your core values plus your envisioned future, what is the impact you can make? Or through your core values, right? What's the impact you can make? Again, this is an exercise that should take you a short period of time to do.
Right. And a couple of them, like the list is a brain dump again, I'm guessing.
It's I can just see a brain dump. Yeah.
I can see several of them like, that one feels really good. And I like that one. And I don't know if that one looks good. So I think that's, yes, you got to just brain dump a little bit on that and then go back, and we'll talk about that in a second. But okay, keep going, Coach. I like that.
All right. So then what brings you joy when you coach, right? So write that down, right? As of this, these are just brain dumps again. Envision helping players build resilience, character, and leadership skills within a supportive team environment. Describe inspirational moments like players overcoming obstacles, exemplifying sportsmanship, celebrating victories, challenges. These are just examples that you can draw out that inspiring description, right? Craft language like forging character and resilience through adversity, right? Together we will celebrate the thrill of hard-won victories, right? So, again, what is it that joyful moment in that I always think about it as it just keeps you going, even on those bad days. You're rushing to work or rushing from work. You just got stuck in traffic. The last thing you want to do is doing basketball practice for a bunch of third grade kids, right? But then as soon as you step over that, the doorway into the hardwood, something clicks. Right. And you're inspired. What is that? What's that deep down drive that keeps you going?
The way I think about this is, what's your why? The inspiring is, what's my why? Why? What brings me joy? Why do I want to do this? It's like, of course, maybe you're coaching your own kid or so. That's part of the why. But that inspiring description is, for me, is the why. Why am I, why have I taught for 35 years? Why am I coaching? Why, you better have a why, or it's going to be,
it's going to be a long season. Without that
long season. It'll be a very long season.
And that why, that helps you get through. You just got your butt kicked, right?
Right.
It's whatever, it's 10 to 40, or, you've lost your 0-8 on the season, right? What we're trying to get to is, this should empower you to get through. That's why we don't want to put it towards wins. Again, not that winning isn't important. It's on the long list of things, but you ask any kid to rank what is important to them playing sports, top two things is having fun and being with their friends. And winning is further down that list. So yes. Okay, let's put this together then. Any more thoughts on the brain dump? Again, this is just a brain dump, right? Bunch of stuff. And then you go through it and start circling things. Teamwork and hard work. Those are, core values. That's what I want to instill in my team, right? I just circled again. These are just random, right? And then your envisioned future. What is the impact again? What positive change do you want? Okay, well, I want to develop strong character. I really believe in that. Maybe that's how I was coached. Create a supportive team environment, going back to the team thing, motivate players to accomplish their goals, and challenge players to exceed their limits. So I'm really driven by that. Those are the things I want to bring out.
What is the max number that you try to find in each of the categories?
I would, 3 to 4 in each of the categories, right? You can kind of play around. I
would say more than 4 is too many.
Yeah, more than 4 is too many.
And less than 2 is not enough. Like somewhere 2 to 4 is, I think, that magic window.
That's the ideal.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want, this huge vision statement that you're never going to do. This isn't a business, right? You're not a high school coach doing this where it's important, right? Where you're meeting your kids every day for 6 days a week for multiple months, and you need to create a program. It's much different. This is it's a guiding light, right? Gives you some sort of direction to fall back onto.
Hey, coaches, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a taste of what Coach Bill and I have done. If you liked it, go over and check it out at basketballcoachesclinic.com. Let us know what you think, and have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.